Yo, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be giving my NBA DraftKings picks for Tuesday, October 24th. Sorry for not uploading these past few days, not uploading any NBA videos. I usually don't upload on the weekends. I still play DFS on the weekends. I'll still play NBA DFS on Saturdays, but I rarely upload on Saturdays. But when I woke up Saturday morning, did get a ton of requests, people asking where was my video. So I'm definitely going to try and start uploading more. Especially on Saturdays. I will start recording on Friday nights. Most nights if I can. We'll try and have a video up on Saturday. And I'm sorry I didn't have an NBA video for today's Monday slate. I'm recording this Monday night. I usually don't record videos for Monday because I make my NFL videos on Monday. But I'll try and start getting back to uploading NBA videos on Mondays as well. Just get out as much content for you guys as I can. You guys have been absolutely killing it lately with the support. It's really insane. All my NBA videos are breaking over 100 likes. Just totally insane. So thank you guys so much for that. Make sure you drop a like on this video. And if you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe as well. I do upload these NBA videos daily. So you're going to want to make sure you're subscribed with notifications on. So that way you'll never miss out on any of my new videos. And also, guys, be sure to follow me on Twitter as well. My Twitter is @theDFS_GOAT. If you just look in the description, there's a link. Just click that link, take you straight to my Twitter. Be sure to give me a follow. Would also appreciate that, guys. But yeah, let's go ahead and start looking at today's Tuesday 6-game slate. Alright, so starting off at point guard today, up top is Kyrie Irving playing at home against the Knicks. I think Kyrie Irving, probably one of the top plays on this slate in my opinion. He's 8,700, which I think is a reasonable price tag to pay. It is a really good matchup for Kyrie. The Knicks just defensively have been terrible this year. They're not good defensively against the point guard. So I think if you are paying up for Kyrie, or if you are paying up for point guard, Kyrie's the guy you want to go to. One thing I do worry about, though, in this matchup is the blowout concern. Haven't looked at the spread yet, but I would imagine it's like a 10, 11, 12-point spread, which does scare me a little bit. Kyrie might only play 3 quarters, but if the Knicks can somehow keep this game close, Kyrie could just totally smash. Wouldn't surprise me if he put up 50+ in this spot. So if you are paying up for point guard, absolutely love him. Damian Lillard is 300 less under him, and he gets a matchup at home against the Pelicans. I think if I had to choose between one of these guys, I would much rather have Kyrie, but Damian Lillard's game should be a lot more competitive. I think that game between the Trailblazers and the Pelicans, I would imagine the spread in that game is only like 2 or 3 points. So I think Dame's locked in for minutes in that game, and like I said earlier, I think Kyrie's minutes are a little concerning here because the Knicks could just absolutely suck. Boston could blow him out. Kyrie could only play 3 quarters. But that's really kind of hard to predict. Blowouts are kind of hard to predict. I don't really take that into much concern when rostering a guy. So if you're choosing to pay up for point guard, I'd just go Kyrie, 8,700. Then under him, we got D'Angelo Russell at 7,800 going up against the Magic. D'Angelo Russell, really expensive, but this guy's just been killing it with the Nets this year. So far through 3 games, he's put up 44, 31, and 41 DraftKings points. To start off the season, D'Angelo Russell's price tag was 6,600 against the Pacers, and now in his 4th game of the season, he's up to 7,800, which is definitely reasonable. Russell's just been killing it this year. He's going to be heavily involved on the Nets. He's pretty much their go-to guy, especially now that Jeremy Lin is going to be out for a while. D'Angelo Russell's going to be the #1 guy in Brooklyn. I think he's a great play here, but I don't know if I can pay that much for him. I'd probably just go up to Kyrie or Dame. But D'Angelo Russell, a really good matchup. I really like this Brooklyn-Orlando game, looking for guys from that game, a lot of guys I want to target. So D'Angelo Russell, definitely a guy I would be targeting here at 7,800. Even though it's expensive, I think the matchup's really good, so I like him as well if you are going to pay up. And then looking for some other guys that are cheaper, I don't mind Jrue Holiday here at 6,500 going up against the Trailblazers. It is a really good spot for Holiday, really good matchup. Damian Lillard, not a very good defender. So it wouldn't surprise me if Jrue Holiday had a really good game here. Portland, they do push the ball. They do play pretty up-tempo. So this game should be high scoring. If you are looking in the mid-range at point guard, I like Jrue Holiday here at 6,500. He's a guy I would definitely have on my radar today. Also really like Jeff Teague in a revenge game for 300 less, going up against the Pacers, his former team. Really good spot for Jeff Teague. The Pacers defensively versus the point guard, not very good this year. Darren Collison, not the best defender. And if you're into the narratives, I think Jeff Teague, definitely a viable option here at 6,200. You would think he would be a little extra motivated in this game since it is a revenge game. So I like him. If you're looking at that price range, I think he's definitely in play here at 6,200. And then looking for some value point guards, I got 2 guys here that I like. The first one being DJ Augustin at 5,100 going up against the Nets. I think Augustin might be one of the most popular value plays on the slate. His price has risen a ton, up to 5,100. But now that Elfrid Payton has been ruled out for this game, Augustin will be getting the start. In the one game that he started with Payton out, he put up 36.5 DraftKings points against Cleveland. We could totally see similar production, if not better than that, especially given the matchup against Brooklyn, a team that plays in an incredibly high, fast pace. They don't play a ton of defense either, really bad defensive team. So it is a really good spot for DJ Augustin. Like I said, Elfrid Payton's going to be out for this game. Augustin's going to be getting the start. And if this game can stay close, you would imagine he's going to play close to 30 minutes, if not more than that. So he's a really good value play I'm going to have my eye on today at 5,100. And then another value play I want to mention is Dwayne Wade at 5K, going up against his former team, going up against the Bulls. Really, that's the only reason I have a ton of interest in Wade here, is because it is a revenge game. Wade has been pretty crappy as of late with the Cavaliers through 3 games this year. He's only put up 17, 11, and 13 DraftKings points. The Cavs have already said that they're going to move him to the bench. J.R. Smith's going to be moved back into the starting lineup, which does scare me a little bit since Dwayne Wade's going to be playing off the bench. Don't know how many minutes he's going to play here. But like I said, it's a revenge game. You never know. D-Wade could come out, want to get some revenge on his former team. So for that reason, I think he's intriguing at 5K. And then one more value play I like at 4K is Ramon Sessions going up against the Celtics. I think Sessions is another guy you can target for value today. Just 4K, really cheap price tag for him. He is going to be starting for the Knicks this year. Through 2 games against OKC and Detroit, he only put up 10 DraftKings points against OKC, but only played 21 minutes in that game. Against the Pistons, he played 33 minutes in that game and put up 25.75 DK points. That game was pretty competitive. The Knicks only lost that game by 4 points. So if you think this game can stay close, you think the Knicks can hang with the Celtics, you might want to target Ramon Sessions today at just 4K. That one game against OKC where he only played 21 minutes, that game was a blowout. The Knicks lost by 21. And if this game blows out, you know Sessions not going to play a ton of minutes. But if it can stay close, he should be out there on the court and should definitely be able to return value on his price tag. So if you think that game stays close, definitely target Ramon Sessions for value at point guard. But yeah, that's pretty much it for point guard. Those are just some point guards. Looking at this slate real quick, those are just some point guards I'm going to be targeting today. Let's go ahead and move on to shooting guard. Alright, so at shooting guard up top here, we got Victor Oladipo going up against the Timberwolves. I think Oladipo is a fine option here. He's been really involved with the Pacers so far this year. The guy's been playing very well with the Pacers this year, and especially with Miles Turner already ruled out for this game. You know Oladipo is really going to have to step up. In his last game against Miami, Turner was out for that game. Oladipo played 37 minutes, put up 51.5 DraftKings points, just totally crushed. This isn't the best matchup for Oladipo. I'd imagine he's going to be matched up with Jimmy Butler, and Butler is a pretty good defender. But with how involved he's going to be and how many minutes he should play over 30 minutes. I would imagine this game should be somewhat competitive. I think the Pacers can keep up with Minnesota. So if you are paying up for shooting guard, don't mind Victor Oladipo here at 7,200. And I also like CJ McCollum for 100 less going up against the Pelicans. I think it's a really good spot for McCollum. The Pelicans don't really have anybody that can defend McCollum. They don't have any shooting guard that can really match up well with him. So it wouldn't surprise me if McCollum had a really good game here. He's played very well through 2 games this year, 43 and 35 DraftKings points. He's hit 5x value in both of his games, or at least 5x value in both of his games. Wouldn't surprise me if he hit 5x value again, maybe even 6x. It's a really good matchup in a game that should be competitive, should see pretty fast tempo. So I like McCollum as well if you want to pay up at shooting guard. Jimmy Butler, guy that's intriguing here at 7K. He is really cheap. Rarely do we see Jimmy Butler this cheap. But with the Timberwolves now, Butler isn't going to be nearly involved as he was when he was with the Bulls. He's still playing a ton of minutes now that Thibodeau's the coach. Obviously, Tibbs is going to let him play. He's played 35, 39, and 39 minutes through 3 games. But he's only put up 23, 34, and 31 DraftKings points. Hasn't hit 5x value yet so far this season. It is a pretty good matchup for Butler, but like I said, now that he's with the Timberwolves, there are other guys on that team that really have to handle the ball. They got Jeff Teague, they got Wiggins, they got KARL-ANTHONY Towns, guys that are going to be taking the ball away from Jimmy Butler. So I don't think I'd be targeting him here, even though he is relatively cheap for his talent level. I'd probably just go up to CJ McCollum or Oladipo if you're looking to pay up for shooting guard. Then looking for some shooting guards in the mid-range, I like Evan Fournier today at just 6,100 going up against the Nets. Like I said, the Nets just terrible defensively. They play at a very fast pace. And when Fournier and the Magic just played this team on the 20th, Fournier had 44 DraftKings points in that game. So it's a really good spot for Fournier. Wouldn't surprise me if he had another really good game. It wouldn't surprise me if he put up over 30 DraftKings points, which is good 5x value for that price tag. So I also like Fournier if you're looking in that 6K range. I think he's in play at 6,100. And one more guy I like for value at shooting guard. He's also point guard eligible. If Marcus Smart doesn't play this game, really like Terry Rozier for value today at just 5,500. Rozier has seen a pretty high increase in minutes just as the season has progressed. He's managed to play 20 minutes in their season opener against Cleveland, then played 27 against Milwaukee, played 30 against the 76ers. Now that Gordon Hayward is out, and now that it looks like Marcus Smart might miss this game, we could see Rozier play over 30 minutes again. I'm not sure if Rozier would start or if he's going to play off the bench, but either way, he should be out there if the game blows out. I would imagine that Rozier is going to be out there even if the score gets ugly. So he is another value play that I like at just 5,500 at shooting guard. He's also eligible at point guard. And then one more guy I like under 5K, 4,400. Terrence Ross going up against Brooklyn. It's a really good spot for T. Ross. Just a really good spot for the Magic in general. With Elfrid Payton already ruled out for this game, Terrence Ross should definitely see an uptick in minutes. When Ross just played this Brooklyn team on the 20th, he played 30 minutes in that game, put up 24.5 DK points, and he's only 4,400 on DK, so for him to get 6x value, you would only need about 24, 25 points, and I think he can definitely do that in this matchup against the Nets. So I like him as well if you're looking for a value play. I think he's definitely in play today at 4,400. But yeah, that's pretty much it for shooting guard. Those are shooting guards I have my eye on today. Let's go ahead and move on to small forward. Alright, so up top at small forward today, we've got LeBron James at 10K going up against the Bulls. It's obviously a great matchup for LeBron, but there is one thing that really scares me here, and that's the blowout potential. If there's one game I could predict that would blow out, it would definitely be this game against the Bulls. The Bulls just have no chance of keeping up with the Cavaliers. LeBron might only play 3 quarters in this game, which definitely scares me. But if this game somehow stays close, you would imagine LeBron's going to crush. There's no one on that Bulls defense or on that Bulls roster that can match up with LeBron. So if you're paying up, he's obviously one of the top plays today at 10K if you can fit him in. I think he's a great play. But like I said, I'm really worried about that game. That game could totally blow out. It might be over by the first half, might be over by the third quarter, which definitely scares me. But just given the matchup, LeBron could probably return value in probably 2 quarters against this Bulls team. So if you're paying up, he's obviously in play. Like him at 10K. And then looking for some value plays at small forward, there aren't a ton of guys I see here. There are some guys that I've already mentioned back at other positions. Guys like Terrence Ross, I said I like for value. He's also small forward eligible. But there aren't a ton of guys I see that I like for value. Maybe a guy like Allen Crabbe against Orlando. Crabbe has actually played pretty well this year with the Nets. Through 3 games, he's put up 28, 15, and 31 DraftKings points. He is a guy that doesn't play a ton of minutes. The most minutes he's played this year is 27. That was his first game against the Pacers. But for Crabbe to really hit value, all you're going to need is him to just get hot, which he could definitely do in this matchup. So I like him at 4,900. I think he's a value play that you should target at small forward. And that's pretty much it for small forward. Not a ton of guys I see here. I already mentioned Evan Fournier. I like him at 6,100. Don't think I'm going to be on Andrew Wiggins at 6,900 going up against the Pacers. I think it's going to be pretty hard to predict who's going to have a good game in that Timberwolves offense just because there's so many guys that want the ball. KARL-ANTHONY Towns could go off for 60-plus one night. Wiggins could go off one night. Butler could go off one night. Hard to predict. I think I'd shy away from Andrew Wiggins here, but his price tag is pretty nice. It's $6,900. For him to hit 5x value, you only need about 35 DK points. Would surprise me if he got that, so I don't mind him in that 6K range. Him and Fournier are definitely in play. Now, I like LeBron up top, and then the value plays I mentioned back at other positions. Some of them are also small forward eligible. But yeah, that's pretty much it for small forward. Let's go ahead and move on to power forward. All right, so up top at power forward, we've got Anthony Davis going up against the Trailblazers. AD is probably one of my favorite plays on the slate. He's definitely my favorite stud play. I absolutely love this matchup for him. I would imagine that the Trailblazers are going to put Jusuf Nurkic on DeMarcus Cousins, which just frees up so much for Anthony Davis. The Trailblazers really don't have anyone that matches up well with him. And AD has just been absolutely tearing it up this year. Through 3 games, he's put up 57, 70, and 65 DraftKings points. Really, the only thing you worry about when rostering AD is the injury. This guy does have a ton of is very prone to getting injured. Rarely is AD going to disappoint just because of having a bad game. He rarely has like just these crappy games. When AD disappoints for you, it's usually because he comes out because of injury. But if it's a competitive game like that game against Golden State, like that game against the Lakers, you could totally see AD smash for 60 plus. And I think this is one of those games that could be pretty high scoring. It should be somewhat competitive. So Anthony Davis, absolutely love him here. At 10,900, he's one of my favorite stud plays on the slate. And then under him is his teammate, DeMarcus Cousins. I don't think I'm going to be on Boogie just because I like AD so much. If I had to choose one or the other, much rather have Anthony Davis for 10,900. So don't have a ton of interest in Boogie at 10.5. I think he's going to have a tough time dealing with Jusuf Nurkic. I don't think that Nurkic is just going to shut Boogie down, but it wouldn't surprise me if he did have a little bit of trouble. I think this is a smash spot for AD. I think AD goes off here. So absolutely love him up top. He's one of my favorite plays on the slate. And then looking for other guys at power forward, Blake Griffin's interesting here at 9K going up against the Jazz. The Jazz are a team that I always shy away from when rostering guys, just because the Jazz play at such a slow pace, and they do have a pretty good defense. With how involved Blake Griffin is on the Celtics roster, I think he could still pay off that 9K price tag. For him to get 5x value, you'd only need about 45 DK points, and he could totally do that even in the bad matchup, just because he's so involved. He's pretty much the #1 guy for the Clippers when it comes to scoring, rebounding. So even in a tough matchup, don't mind Blake Griffin here at 9K. And then under him is KRISTAPS Porzingis at 8,500. This is definitely a good spot for Porzingis, and he is another guy that's really heavily involved. He's the #1 guy for the Knicks. The dude's been smashing this year through 2 games. He's put up 51 and 46 DraftKings points. But like I said earlier, I do really worry about the blowout concern in this game. Porzingis could just only play 3 quarters in this game because the game could get so ugly. But if it's somewhat stay close, you would definitely think that Porzingis is probably one of the reasons why. So if you think the Knicks can keep it close, you should definitely be targeting Kristaps Porzingis today at power forward for 8,500. And then another option I like for about 1K less is Kevin Love going up against the Bulls. Really worry about the blowout concern as well in this game, but Love is really cheap today at 7,400. For Love to hit 5x value, you only need about 35, 40 DK points. And if this game somewhat stays close, you would definitely think that Kevin Love would be able to return value, especially given the matchups. The Bulls are terrible defensively. So I like Kevin Love at 7,400. I think he definitely returns value on his salary if that game can somewhat stay close. Then looking for some value plays at power forward under 6K. I like Trevor Booker at 5,800 going up against the Magic. Trevor Booker has played very well this year through 3 games. He's been really consistent. He's put up 33, 34, and 28 DraftKings points through 3 games. Hasn't seen a ton of minutes, has only played 28, 22, and 28 minutes, has yet to see over 30 minutes. But given this matchup against the Magic, wouldn't surprise me if Booker put up 30 plus here. When these teams just played a couple days ago, Trevor Booker had 34 DraftKings points, so wouldn't surprise me if he had another good game here. He'd only need about 30 DK points to get 5x value, which I could totally see him doing. So I like Trevor Booker at 5,800. Looking for a value play at power forward. I think he is definitely in play. And then another cheap power forward I like is ENES Kanter at 5,300 going up against the Celtics. I've said this before, but if this game can stay close, I think ENES Kanter could have a really good game here, could totally crush. The Celtics as a team are one of the worst rebounding teams. Al Horford, not a very good rebounder. And Kanter, you know, is trying to grab as many rebounds as he can when he's on the court. Every time a shot gets thrown up, Kanter's sprinting to the basket to grab the rebound. So Kanter could totally eat in this matchup. Wouldn't surprise me at all if he put up 30 plus. I do worry about the blowout concern because if this game blows out, Kanter is not going to be on the floor. But if it can stay close, he could totally see close to 30 minutes, and he can definitely return value if he sees that many minutes. Kanter is a guy that averages over a DraftKings point per minute, if not close to that. So if he sees 30 minutes in this game and this game stay close, Kanter could totally hit 5x, 6x value. So I like him at value for power forward at 5,300. And yeah, that's pretty much it for power forward. Those are some power forwards I'm going to have my eye on today. Let's go ahead and move on to center. Alright, so at center, there's a lot of guys here that I've already talked about at other positions. Guys like AD, Boogie, and Blake Griffin. So I'm not going to talk about those guys. I'm going to talk about the guys I haven't mentioned that are only center eligible. Guys like KARL-ANTHONY Towns at 8,600 going up against the Pacers. I think this is a good spot for Cat, especially because Miles Turner is going to be out for this game. I think if there was one Timberwolf I wanted to target in this game, it would be KARL-ANTHONY Towns. The guy's been so consistent throughout his career and to begin the year. He's put up 42, 41, and 46 DraftKings points. so he's hit at least 5x value in 3 straight games. And given this matchup with no Miles Turner, wouldn't surprise me at all if Anthony Towns had 5x, 6x value. So if you are looking to pay up for center, absolutely love Cat. I think he's definitely in play here at 8,600. And then for 300 less, I also love NIKOLA VUCEVIC going up against Brooklyn. VUCEVIC has been absolutely tearing it up this year. Through 3 games, he's put up 45, 63, and 47 DraftKings points. When he faced his Brooklyn team a couple days ago, he played 35 minutes and put up 63 DK points in that game. And with no Elfrid Payton in this game, you know the Magic are going to heavily rely on NIKOLA VUCEVIC. So I also really like him at center today. There's a ton of really good centers to pay up for, so I don't know if this is a position you're going to look to go cheap at. Guys like Anthony Davis, KARL-ANTHONY Towns, PORZINGIS, VUCEVIC, a lot of good intriguing options to pay up for, so definitely think you're going to want to pay up at this position, but there are a couple value plays that I will hit on in a second. But yeah, definitely like VUCEVIC here at 8,300. And then looking for some cheaper options, there are 2 options I like here. So guys like TREVOR, Booker, ENES, KANTER, I'm not going to mention them because I already mentioned them at other positions. But one guy I like under 6K is Robin Lopez going up against the Cavs. If this game can stay close, really like the spot here for Robin Lopez. He will be matched up with Kevin Love, and Kevin Love is not nearly as good a defender as Tristan Thompson is. So I think Robin Lopez can definitely have some success in this matchup. He is pretty much the Bulls' #1 guy when it comes to scoring and rebounding. Through 2 games this year, Lopez has put up 32 and 33 DraftKings points. He's totaled 18 and 16 points through those 2 games, 8 and 7 rebounds as well. So Lopez has been really consistent, and he's pretty cheap as well at just 5,800. For him to get 5x value, you only need about 30 DK points, which I could totally see him doing if this game stays close. So I like Robin Lopez if you're looking for some center value. I think he's in play at 5,800. And then one more center play I want to mention. He's also power forward eligible. Domantas Sabones at 4,600 going up against the Timberwolves. With Miles Turner out, Sabones has been starting for the Pacers. And in the 2 games he started against Portland, he only put up 15 DK points in that game. But against Miami, he put up 40 DK points in that game. He played 29 and 30 minutes in the 2 games that he started. So with Miles Turner already ruled out for this game, you would imagine Sabones is probably going to play at least 30 minutes. For him to hit value at his price tag, you'd only need about 25 DraftKings points, which he could totally get now that he's starting and seeing close to 30 minutes. So he's another guy I like at center, also power forward eligible. I think he is an intriguing play for value at just 4,600. But yeah, that's pretty much it for center. Those are just some centers I have my eye on today. Quickly looking at the slate. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you drop a like on the video. Be sure to subscribe as well if you are new to the channel. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comments, or feel free to hit me up on Twitter at the DFS_GOAT. I will always reply to your comments if you have any, so feel free to leave them down in the comments, or feel free to hit me up on Twitter. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Good luck tonight, guys. Peace.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, she shaking fast. Yeah, she dropping slow. What? Yeah, neck on fro. Whoa, 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 whoa.